What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, it's your homie, FuturisticMike, and I'm back with another All-American video. Now, this is going to be the review and recap for All-American Season 4, Episode 1. If you're a fan of All-American, hit the like on this video. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe and turn on those post notifications so when I post videos on All-American, you get them. Now, All-American is back. They didn't wait that long. You know, Season 3 kind of just went off a few months ago. And now we got Season 4. I think it came pretty quick. They left us with a crazy cliffhanger at the end of Season 3. You know, Coop got shot, and then Preach shot Mo. And we seen that something was going on with Layla and Carrie. So we see all of that in this episode. This episode is titled Survival of the Fittest. And it's the premiere episode, and I think it was really good, man. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. This was really good, but honestly, it was sad as hell. The entire episode, I think I almost cried this episode, man. I'm tearing up the entire time. They really tried to trick us and make us think that Coop was dead, but she survived. And I was very, very happy to see that towards the end of the episode. When the episode first starts, we see Carrie and Layla, they pull up to like a cliff. And this is a flashback scene because it doesn't show all of it right away. We see Carrie takes Layla to the edge. And Layla's like, what are we doing here? And you know, she starts crying, saying that she's had enough and she just wants to end the pain. And she wants Layla to do it with her. So then the scene cuts to another scene and we see, you know, Layla, she's dreaming. She hops up, her dad's in the room. And, you know, he's trying to comfort her and stuff, but she says, look, I just got to go to the bathroom. Then we see Spencer at the cemetery, and he's talking to someone's grave, and they're really making you think it's Coop. But then we see, you know, the championship game. We see a little bit of what was going on. We see Spencer scoring and stuff, and then he gets interrupted because his mom comes to the field, and the coach calls him over, and she's like, it's Coop. So Billy tells Spencer to leave. He says they can handle what's going on in the game. Then we see Spencer at the cemetery. Olivia pulls up and, you know, she hugs him and kisses him. She asks if he's all right and he says no. Now, this is when he tells her that he's not going to Toledo University, that he's not signing the paper. You know, he can't lose anybody else that he cares about, and he wants to stay here because he doesn't want to lose her or anybody else. Then we see Layla coming back from a run. Her dad made breakfast. I mean, he really made a feast. He made like breakfast for the whole damn community, for real. I mean, everybody could eat. But he just wants to talk to Layla. He wants to get down to the bottom of what's wrong with her. But of course, she doesn't really want to talk, and she leaves. Now we see Spencer walk in, and everybody's sitting there. I mean, everybody. You know, Patience, Chris, Olivia, Spencer's mom and brother, they're all sitting there. It's kind of like an intervention. They want to sit there and talk to him about, you know, his decisions and stuff, about him going to Toledo University. Then we see Spencer running in the hospital because this is when it's showing what happened with Coop. He runs in there. He's asking Patience what happened. He's hugging her and, you know, she's crying and stuff. Spencer looks in the room and they're trying to shock Coop's heart. And it seems like she's dead, but you know, she's not. She's in critical condition. Now, next we see Layla go over to Jordan's house. You know, she's looking for Olivia. Jordan says that she's not there because she's at Spencer's for that intervention. So Layla talks to Jordan, you know, about her dad, how he's hovering over her and stuff like that. And they just have a honest heart-to-heart conversation. You know, Jordan's really helping her through her pain because she went through a traumatic incident with Carrie. I mean, it was really bad. And then it flashes back and shows more of what happened. You know, Carrie is just saying that she's in so much pain, she can't take it anymore. You know, she's tried to get help and everything like that. You know, Layla is just trying to talk her down off the edge. She's grabbing her. You know, she's trying to hold on to her so she doesn't do nothing stupid. Now, next we see the whole family saying, look, you need to go to Toledo University. And, you know, his brother is saying, yo, why didn't you sign the paper yet? And they're all talking to him. And then Darnell walks in. He's like, yo, what is going on? Why are you not doing this? And he's just trying to talk some sense into Spencer. And then him and Darnell go and kick it. they go to a little restaurant, they're talking and stuff, and Darnell's like, man, everybody's worried about you. You need to sign that paper and go to this university. And Spencer's just talking about how he can't, how he's hurt. He's talking about this heartbreak with Coop and stuff. At this point, we really think Coop is gonna die. He's talking like, she's gonna die or she already did. They're making you really think that in this episode. Now, next we see everybody at the hospital. Olivia comes in, hugs Spencer. They're all sitting there waiting. Coop's dad is there and he's so upset. Everybody is. It's just a really bad time. And Spencer gets a text and he goes outside and it's your boy Preach out there. And, Patience wants to attack Preach. She thinks it's his fault. He dropped Coop off at the hospital and just left her there. But Preach explains why. He says that Coop wanted to confront Mo for trying to set her up on the bus. And Mo started shooting at Coop. And then Preach started shooting at Mo. And he thought that he shot before Mo did, but it turns out he didn't. And, Coop got hit and she was bleeding out in his arms. And he says that he dropped her off at the hospital the way he did because, he's a felon and he can't get caught with blood on his shirt and stuff. And now they understand what happened, but Patience was really going off. And this is when we find out Mo is dead because Patience says, where is Mo? And, Preach says she's dead. So we're not going to be seeing her anymore. And I'm kind of glad because, she was trouble and she did not have to do all this just because of her brother Tyrone. Tyrone was in the neighborhood starting shit. It's his fault why he got killed. It's not Coop or anybody else's fault. Now we see Olivia, Patience, and Spencer in the hospital talking. And Spencer's just telling them that Coop is strong and she's going to pull through this. She's going to beat this battle. Now next we see Layla sitting there listening to Coop's song. And it's a fire song for real. Coop is really talented. And then we see Layla and Carrie again. And it's just showing a little bit more of what happened. Layla, she backs up from the ledge, goes by her car, and she's just trying to talk Carrie down. Then we see Layla's dad come in the room and he has a coffee for her. He's trying to talk to her, just spend some time with her and really figure out what's going on with her. And once he brings up that he talked to her therapist and stuff, she kind of gets mad and she says she has to leave and run some errands. And he's like, I really want to come with you. And she lies and says she's meeting Jordan. Now next we see Billy and Laura and they're talking about Billy not being at the intervention. And he says, look, they can handle everything on their own. And Laura is pretty much trying to say like, look, you can't still be mad at Spencer. It was Jordan's fault. Jordan messed it up for himself. He decided that. And Billy, he's holding a grudge against Spencer. He doesn't want to let it go. And Laura is just telling him that it's not Spencer's fault. And Laura says maybe it was for the best because I never seen Jordan play so good that night. Then it flashes back to the game and we see them playing and everybody's scoring and stuff. It's a really good game. And, Jordan is doing super good, throwing touchdowns and stuff. And there's like 7 seconds left and Crenshaw has to try to score a touchdown before the end of the game to win. They're behind by like 5 or whatever. So we see somebody running the ball down the field. They dive in for a touchdown. In my personal opinion, it looked like it was good. But the referees said that it was bad, that it was no good, and Beverly won the championship. Then we see everybody at the hospital, and all of Spencer's friends come there to support him. And then Jordan and Spencer hug. They're having a little brotherly moment, and I love it. I really do. And then Grace and Coop's father come out, and they have news for everybody. They say that the surgery, was tough, and it didn't go exactly as planned. And Spencer can tell something's wrong, and he's like, what are y'all not telling us? And Grace says they said it's not when she wakes up, it's if she wakes up. So everybody's crying, and of course, me watching this, more tears are about to fall down my face. I mean, this episode is just so sad. It really is. Now, next we see Darnell, Olivia, and Spencer at his house. And they're just trying to talk to him more about going to that school. And I'm sorry, man. Whenever I look at Darnell now, I can't help but to see Terry Flannery, man, from BMF. When I used to watch this show in the earlier seasons, I'm like, okay, that's Darnell. But now I can only see Terry. That boy Terry putting in some work, beating up dudes and stuff, trying to get his bag back. Like, this is just funny watching it now. But I'm going to try to take him seriously as Darnell. But yeah, they're just trying to convince your boy Spencer to do the right thing. Then we see Layla at the cafe, and Jordan walks in, and he's like, next time you use me for an alibi, make sure I know about it. And she's like, how do you know I'm here? And her dad has the tracker on her phone. He has the Find Me app or whatever. And Jordan talked to her dad. Now they're just talking more about what to do about her father and about what went down between Layla and Carrie. And then this is when we finally see what happened. Carrie is really about to jump. She's had enough. She's tired of life and she's just in so much pain. And Layla is crying, saying, look, your life is worth it. I've been where you've been at before. And she said, I recovered and I made it back and I don't have that pain anymore. I want to live and I want you to live, and I'm not leaving until you do. Well, she eventually talks Carrie into not doing it, and they hug and stuff. And I'm glad Carrie did not jump, because I never want to see anybody take their own life on screen. I just don't want to see that. And then we see Layla's dad come out by the pool to talk to her. She wanted to talk to him. And basically she's just saying that she's not safe. And he said it's just a house, we can move. And she said it's not the house, it's the home. And you're part of that home. So he said, what can we do to make you feel safe? Now next we see Spencer looking at his university letter. And then he gets a text and he starts smiling. So I already knew what was up. He goes to the hospital. He goes to Coop's room. Coop is awake and he says, man, Coop, for 3 days you've been having me worried, heartbroken like this. And Coop's like, I'm sorry, who are you? And at first I'm thinking this is serious. I'm like, oh man, Coop's gonna forget her memory. And she starts laughing. She's like, man, I'm messing with you. She said, you should have seen your face. And Spencer's like, if you wasn't in that bed, I'd beat you up. And then he kisses her on the forehead. It's just a beautiful moment because she did not die. And she's still gonna be on the show, which I'm happy about because I love Coop. Now next we see Layla's dad dropping her off at Billy's house, and she's gonna be staying there for now because she doesn't want to live with her dad. She wants to feel safe, and Laura says that he can visit whenever he wants. Now we see Billy in his office, and he's watching footage of the game because he thinks that their team should have won, which they should have. And Spencer comes in and he wants to talk to Billy. They talk about the good news with Coop, and then Spencer talks about not being able to sign the university letter. And Billy says you need to do what's best for you. And Spencer's like, how many times do I gotta apologize? And they basically just talk about how, Spencer was wrong for what he did. Billy is feeling some type of way still. He's not happy about what Spencer did. He said it's his and Laura's job to take care of Jordan, not Spencer's. And Spencer says, what was I supposed to do? Not help him? He was gonna do it with or without me. And Billy is just mad, man. He's not gonna get over it anytime soon, I don't think. This is the maddest I've ever seen Billy at Spencer. And Billy tells him that he doesn't always have to be the hero. He said, you even think you have to be the hero when it comes to your family. That's why you're not signing the letter. He said, you're afraid they're gonna be all right without you. And Spencer just looks upset. That's the end of that scene. Then we see Coop in the hospital. Preach is talking to her. Patience comes in and says, what's going on? Then we see a detective. He wants answers. And Coop says, look, Mo shot me and then I shot her. And that's what happened. He wants to get to the bottom of it. But then he says, though, continue the conversation the next day. So he's going to come back to get the statement. Then Preach and Patience talk in the hall. And, Patience is mad that Coop keeps doing this to herself. She says that Coop was supposed to be done with the streets and the gangs and stuff. And here she goes again. Patience says that, Coop keeps doing this to herself. And Preach says that, she's just trying to help him. And Patience understands that, but, Coop keeps on going with the drama. So she just has to chill. Now next we see Jordan and Olivia making a little tent for Layla, trying to make her feel better. And she's crying. And then we see Spencer talking to his dad at the cemetery. And this is who he was talking to the whole time. We see Corey James, his tombstone, and Spencer's talking, saying, I never thought I would get here without you. I always thought I was going to be with you. And then he signs the letter. We know that he's going to be going to Toledo University. And then he walks to his family. He hugs them. And that's the end of the episode. I thought it was a really good premiere, man. Season 4 is already off to a good start. I'm happy with it. You know, I really hope this is a good season. I hope there's another one too. I really enjoyed this show. I always have. But what did you guys think? Comment your thoughts down below. Keep supporting your boy, and I'll be continuing to bring y'all all-American content in the future. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you can never miss a video. If you guys want to donate to the channel, I got links below to the PayPal and Cash App accounts. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me get out of here, y'all. It's your boy FuturisticMike, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.